Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take what we learned in the first two videos and kind of combine them and make yet a third animation, but show you how to use the listener along with the builder. So let's go ahead and add our with ticker provider state mix in here. Going to add our animation controller. Add our init state. Ooh, that was bad. There we go, super init state. Let's make our controller. Got our animation controller, we're going to vsync this. Make our duration. And let's do milliseconds, good old trusty 5,000. Now that we've got a controller, let's make our curve. So we're going to say final curved animation. And for the parent, let's say the controller again. And the curve, let's stick with curves eased in. We know it worked with the numbers we plugged in last time, so there won't be any troubleshooting there. We're going to make a new tween. And let's actually change this up a little bit here. Let's say 100. And let's do animate on the curve. Boy, I did misspell that, didn't I? There we go. All right, now we want to add our status listener. But before we do that, we want to wrap that into an actual function, not just an anonymous. So let's say void listener. So we're going to say animation status. Now we can say animation add status listener, and we're just going to say listener. There we go. Now we're going to start our animations. We're going to say controller forward. We're going to jump down here and we're going to skip ahead and actually do our builder real quick. Widget, builder. We're just going to return a new container. There we go. And put a semicolon in there so we don't screw that up. So we've got that, and let's make a child. New Flutter logo. Let's go down here and let's find our center. Get rid of that. And we want a new animated builder. For the animation, we want the animation. And the builder, we want our builder function. go ahead and run this. It'll take just a second to build. While it's building, notice how we haven't fleshed out this listener yet. That's what we're going to do after we preview what this looks like. This should work exactly like the previous demonstration. Notice how it started at 100 instead of 0, and it's just growing. And it stops once it hits its limit. So let's say we want to give this like a pulse effect. We want it to, similar to bounce in, bounce out, but we want to do it on our own. So let's go ahead and look at this listener here. We can get the status. We'll say if status equal animation status, and let's say completed. Now we know the animation itself is actually stopped. We're going to say controller reverse. And we'll say else if, let's say status. And let's look for dismissed here. There we go. So what this is going to do is add in an extra little animation step without actually making a tween. We're just going forward and backward in the animation. Let's restart that whole thing from the beginning, and you can see it grows. And then it shrinks. So now we have, well, pretty much a growing and shrinking animation. It's important to note, though, that we're not actually animating the Flutter logo itself. We're animating the container, this guy right here. The container is what's growing and shrinking, and the logo is just simply matching the size.